verse 14 of the 8th chapter, Gospel of Matthew. We've seen a healing account of the nobleman's servant and an earlier healing account of a leper, and now we come to the next of these as Matthew organizes these stories together. This one has to do with Peter's mother-in-law. So beginning in verse 14, we have Kai, the connective eilthon from erchomai. I come or I go, it's an aorist participle, referring to the subject of the sentence, who is Jesus. Aorist participles refer to action preceding the time of the leading verb, and so having come would be the typical way to render this. So having come, the subject of it is ho Jesus, Jesus having come. Eis, preposition, means into, takes the accusative, into tein oikion, into the house, roughly the same as oikos, both words used more or less interchangeably in the New Testament. This is feminine. So Jesus having come into the house Petru, this is the genitive showing the possession, so presumably the house that belonged to Peter. And as Jesus came in, and then the principal verb, eiden, derived from blepo, I see, third person singular, aorist active indicative. So having come into the house, he saw, Jesus saw, tein pentheron. This is a word that means the mother-in-law. It's of uncertain origins. Pentheros is the word that means father-in-law. This is the feminine, so otherwise they're similar words. So he saw the mother-in-law, autou, referring to Peter, so it's the possessive pronoun. He saw the mother-in-law of him, beblemenein. This is from balo. It means to cast. It's a passive participle here, so she was cast, perfect participle. So having been cast, literally, up on the bed is the idea. It's feminine, referring to the mother-in-law. So she had found herself sick in bed and remaining there. And then the present participle describing her present condition, poresusan. The heart of that is the word pur, which means fire, of course, as in pyromaniac, that sort of thing. This is a word that means a fever. She was on fire with a fever, we might say. It's the present active participle and singular accusative. Both of these, of course, are accusative, indicating they both refer to the mother-in-law of Peter, who Jesus saw. So she's in the accusative here, and these two participles describe her also in the accusative. So this is going to introduce now the next healing account that Matthew wants to call to our attention.